Hey guys. So I got a question today about what to do when a person's spouse is not on board with throwing things out and the two people are coming from different places. So without knowing any of the details, any of the specifics, anything, just the general question, this is what I would say. I would say that to find success in this scenario, um, both sides really need to hear the other person out and to be able to validate at least where the person's coming from. You might not agree, you might not understand why the person feels that way or how this person could possibly want to hold on to all of this stuff for whatever reasons. You might not understand it, but just to validate that it is an emotion or it is a response that's valid, because people's emotions are not right or wrong. They just are. They're valid. So I think that's number one. There needs to be a kind of coming together and discussion about it, if any action is going to happen. People can't just start tossing stuff out that belongs to someone else, obviously, or even that belongs to the couple jointly. I mean, it has to be like a discussion. Now, there are lots of types of papers, lots of types of things that people can have a discussion about. So it might be a book collection, but not, holiday cards. It might be someone's, recipe collection with 9 million recipes that never get touched, but not, a stack of newspapers, or not a stack of magazines, or not a stack of catalogs. So in other words, what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be just, well, you want to get rid of everything and I want to hold on to everything, or whatever it is. The conversation needs to get detailed, needs to get into the specifics, because perhaps the person wants to hold on to a very discrete type of thing or set of things, but would be okay letting you toss out, letting you let go of other things. So I would try to avoid generalities, and I would get specific and have a conversation about what are the things that you are ready to let go of, and are these the same things that your significant other wants to hold on to, right? Maybe your significant other's like, oh no, I'm okay with you letting go of that. I just want to make sure we don't get rid of this. So starting out with the validation piece, sitting down, respecting the fact that this needs to be a conversation, because you want to go one way and your spouse wants to go another, right? Sitting down, having a conversation, being respectful, validating that each of you feels differently, and then really deciding that you're going to get specific, and you can say what you want to let go of, but what you're okay keeping, and your spouse can say what he or she wants to let go of, or what he or she is okay keeping. And from there's going to need to be, I totally can't remember the word. It must be because it's very late. But both of you need to accept that it's not going to be 100% your way. To make concessions, and so each side, I think, should have his or her desire respected, and you need to be able to meet somewhere in the middle. And I think because this is an area that is very thorny, because it's purely emotional terrain, or most of the time it's almost all emotional terrain, it's very, it's a vulnerable place for people to go. So I don't think it's best to launch into a 9-hour conversation about it if you haven't talked about it ever, or you haven't talked about it in a while. But I do think it's something that can be kind of spoken about or chipped away at little by little. And remember, you want to get detailed about what you're talking about, and maybe start with one particular area and see how that goes. And your spouse might feel very differently once maybe you agree to let go of certain things, and he or she may feel like, oh wow, this actually feels better. Our space is more livable. This is actually great. I'm on board. Let's do more of this. So one never knows how things are going to turn out. I do hope this is helpful, and I think it's a great question because many of us who are partnered realize that, or we don't realize, we're just simply in a situation where our partner feels differently. And so that inherently creates kind of a tension that makes already challenging work even more difficult. So take care, everyone, and we'll speak soon.